again, I'm just going to quickly run. So the topics we're going to run today is coping versus control versus habituation. What's the difference? The second thing is tinnitus fluctuation, why we have fluctuation and how to deal with that. The third thing is just a quick update for me about my personal life and why I was kind of not as active in June. And then the fourth thing is what I was explaining now, which is the course. So I was trying to create this course that will be dynamic and respond to what you need. So when you say monitoring is the biggest problem for me, the course will try to serve you with the right
Mhm.
information for monitoring. I was trying to do it for like a few months, and it's just not working out. It's really hard to do. So instead, I have another solution that will probably be offered to the premium tier of all of you because it's taking a lot of time to do that. But it's a solution that I think will exactly do what I said. What I wanted to do is that you will say, my challenge right now is monitoring. My challenge right now is waking up in the morning. Oh, my challenge is sleep. And then what I'm building right now will give you the content based on all the content that I created. Will give you the content and the tips or recommendation of what to do right now for your challenges. So that's gonna be my last update on that. Um, so let's jump to the first one, which is a big topic, which is what is the difference um, between coping with tinnitus, control, and habituation to tinnitus. Okay, so um, I'm going to start covering it one by one, and I will try to explain. And it's I'm gonna start running through this as I run through it. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat, and then every subject I will try to stop and answer your questions. Okay, or you can just kind of give me. Oh, you can raise your hand using the react button. You can raise your hand, and then I will try to pay attention. And if you guys see me missing that somebody's raising a hand, just let me know. Raise your hand too. Because it's really hard. I'm doing this by myself. Nobody's helping me manage the meeting. Okay, so let's start with coping. When you cope with tinnitus, or coping with tinnitus is actually important. Um, it's the first response you have. So let's say that you have a spike right now. Right now, you are dealing with tinnitus spike. Coping is what you do to deal with this at that moment. And there's, of course, good way of coping and not so good way of coping. Um, but every time that you have a spike or you feel anxious or your focus is locked on tinnitus, things, all these kind of challenges that we all go through, um, the response is how we cope with it. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you're feeling anxious or you're feeling that you're locked on the sound and you're using breathing patterns. So you use a 4-6 breathing pattern, for example, just to calm your nervous system down. That's a way that you can cope with that. Um, other relaxation techniques are obviously other coping techniques. Sound enrichment. So let's say that you're in a moment that you're trying to focus on something, and the tinnitus sound is kind of bugging you. It's in the background here. It kind of make you crazy, and you don't feel anxious, but it's bothering you. So you can use sound enrichments like sound therapy or nature sounds or whatever you like to hear, music, to play that in the background in a gentle way as a way to cope with what you're going through. So that's another example of coping. Um, another example, which I hope that most of you or all of you are aware of, is the tinnitus spike protocol. When you feel that your attention is locked on tinnitus and you feel maybe anxious and you feel, okay, I need to do something so I can go back to my life or go back to what I'm trying to do, then the tinnitus spike protocol, which I shared on the community and YouTube long time ago, is a really good coping technique because it has a relaxation component, then it has a CBT component, and then finally you have ACT component to go back to what you're trying to focus on. So the tinnitus spike protocol is a really good example of a good coping technique. Um, so let's talk about what coping. Let's see, nobody is raising hands. I don't see questions, I think. Oh, I see a question here. Should we avoid in silence? Okay, so let me, okay, with first question. So I'm in a good point to answer the question. So should we be avoiding silence while habituating, especially if it's causing distress? And is another question that came up, another life, I believe, is a regular music okay or instrumental better? Okay, so two questions, sir. So the first question is, should we avoid silence while habituating? Um, if if you're in a moment, like I was saying just now in the example of coping, that you feel that the silence is not good for you, you feel that maybe your tinnitus sound is kind of bothering you, but you don't feel emotion, you don't feel um, anxious, then yes, sound therapy, as long as you use it as a tool and not as a crouch, is a good thing to do. So you can use sound therapy for an hour or two, and then take a break, and then for 15 minutes and take a break, whenever you need it, basically. The the really important thing is that you change between sounds and don't use only one sound all the time. And then the other important thing is don't use sound therapy for the whole day, because then it becomes something that you are dependent on instead of using it as a tool. Um, Regular music is fine as long as the volume is gentle, low, and avoid songs. So it's not a big issue because we already had the question before. You can use songs if you want. The only thing is that the brain processes words differently. So it kind of takes your attention into a different direction. But music and instrumental music is totally fine. Yes. Um, okay, so let me go back now. The limitation. Okay, so coping, what are the limitations of coping? Coping is short term. If I'm feeling anxious right now because of my symptoms, I can use a spike protocol. It helps me get out of what I feel right now. It's not going to help me tomorrow. It's going to help me right now, which is very important. I mean, it's really important for you to manage the moment, but it's not long term. Um, the other thing, um, you you the trap. There's a trap with coping. The trap is that you start accumulating a bunch of tools. You have like 10 different tools, like sound therapy, relaxation, different techniques for relaxation, different sounds, different maybe yoga and stuff. And the trap is that you're gonna start applying a bunch of tools to get relief from the moment, and you're never gonna start working on how do I get long-term relief? How do I actually achieve habituation? So coping is good as a short-term response, as long as you understand that you're not helping yourself getting relief, for the rest of your life, basically. So that is the trap, though. Um, And then the second trap with coping is that people, so let's say again, let's say right now I'm feeling that the sound is bothering me. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit anxious. Maybe I'm feeling, like worried about some stuff. So I'm going to use the spike protocol. Um, and it's going to get me relief right now. The trap is now I'm going to go like, okay, so is it now quiet? Is it gone? Your expectation from what the coping technique is doing may be the wrong expectation. So coping techniques help you feel better, help you focus back on what you want to focus on. They're not fixing tinnitus. Tinnitus is not going to disappear because you're doing a coping technique. So that is the trap that people do something like they do meditation, they use sound therapy, or they do spark protocol, and they expect, is it working? Is tinnitus gone yet? Why do I still hear it? I just did spark protocol. Did you guys follow me, right? This is not the right expectation. So this is the trap with coping. Um, so before I move to control, is there any other questions here? I'm trying to see. I don't see any hands. Brian, you have a question?
Oh, I was just talking about the trap. I mean, I'm not quite sure about the trap. You get caught up in the moment because you think it's going to fix it. It's just going to kind of relax you. Is that the meaning of it, kind of?
Yeah. So the coping techniques are really good in giving you relief at the moment. It's not fixing tinnitus. It's not
Right,
going to make tinnitus disappear. That's the wrong expectation.
right.
So if I do spike protocol and then immediately after I go like, is it less? Is the volume down? Is it gone? That kind of things. That's that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So control. Okay. Why people want control, which is kind of obvious. People want control because tinnitus affects their sleep, their focus, their mood, their work, their performance, and relationships. So it just affects our entire lives, right? And people want control because they want to stop this, because they want to fix these things. Um, but what I'm going to show you now, there's good control and there's a bad control. So what do I mean by that? Um, Helpful control is, can I influence my reaction? So again, let's take the example that right now I'm trying to walk. I'm trying to actually speak to people, and the sound is kind of grabbing my attention. So the question is, do I start panicking and stressing and get into a really bad place? Or can I change my reaction to what's happening? So helpful control would be thinking, um, can I calm my nervous system down? Can I redirect my attention back to what I want to do? Um, can I reduce avoidance from activities? One of the biggest challenge that I think a lot of people here will identify with is stopping to go to noisy places like restaurants or theaters or places where the sound is aggravating or triggering our symptoms, right? Um, so can I reduce my avoidance gradually, not but all at once? um, can I change the story? When CBT, there's the concept of the tinnitus is telling us a story. Every time that the symptoms are affecting our lives, they're telling us a story. You know, so can I change the story that tinnitus is trying to tell me, and into a story that is helping me achieving relief? So this is the good kind of control. Um, And the helpful control help you control your attention, your reaction, your interpretation of the sound, of the symptom, which is probably the most important, your response to it, and so on. Unhelpful control, so the kind of control that does not help you achieve lasting relief or habituation, is if something changes in your tinnitus symptoms, you're thinking, I need to know exactly why it changed. Or I need to check if it's louder than yesterday or quieter than yesterday. And I need to prevent any spikes that will ever happen. You know, I just need to do it. Or I need to find the perfect sound therapy that will help me make tinnitus disappear. You know, getting into this detail of how can I do something to fix the problem is the unhelpful control, because it's not realistic and it's just going to get you trapped into efforts and frustration. And now the really frustrating thing with control is that the harder that we try to control tinnitus, again, it's really, it makes sense that this thing is affecting our life in so many ways. We want to control it. We want to stop it. We want to do what we want to do, right? But the harder we try to control tinnitus, or the harder we try to fight with it, we're going to lose. We're not going to win. So I'll give you a really simple example. Let's say that right now I'm trying to write the script for my next video. Okay, I'm trying to focus. I'm heads down, and then tinnitus is starting to pull my attention. Oh, the sound is bothering me. If I start doing stuff like "leave me alone," "I'm done with you," "I can't focus," just enough, be quiet, you know, doing that kind of emotions. And forgive me for maybe acting a little bit, but when you're doing that kind of stuff, you are just doing two things. One, you tell your brain this sound is important. You should keep monitoring this sound. And two, you're setting yourself into failure because you're not gonna win this fight. It's impossible to win it. So that is one of the frustrating things about control. Um, so the really important part from the control, uh, you know, subject here is how do you want to focus on how do you respond, how quickly you recover, and how much attention you give tinnitus, and how much importance your brain assign to it. This is the right kind of control that you want to use. Um, okay, so again, quickly check in. I don't see any questions. Oh, yes, Brian.
No, I just have a saying, uh, if you resist, it persists.
Okay, wait a second.
Because
I have to
I
do
know
the
how that is.
same.
I've resisted a lot and it persists. And it just like sometimes it's just yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. Now imagine I don't know if everybody else has been there once in a while, a few times, but I just know that old
It
saying.
is it's exactly true. If you so again, I don't know. There's some people I tell which I think I knew, but if you've been in the community for a while, you've probably seen that Bruce Lee video. And that Bruce Lee video is saying somebody's asking him, this is an interview from the 70s, and somebody's asking him, how do you find peace? And Bruce Lee's answer was, you don't find peace, you choose it. You choose it above the star. You choose what you let go. You choose what to focus on, and you choose peace. You don't find peace. So this is exactly um, also in Kung Fu, which is what Bruce Lee was doing. Um, when somebody is directing um, bad energy, negative energy to you in Kung Fu, you don't you don't face it and um, try to block it unless you don't have a choice. The first option in Kung Fu is deflect it. So let's say that somebody is trying to hit me. Instead of just standing there and getting the hit, I would just try to deflect the energy away from me. So this is exactly it matches that. You don't if you resist it persists, you just kind of deflect it and move it away from you. Just a kung fu analogy there. Okay, so now we are getting to again no questions. Habituation. So what is habituation? What we are trying to work on and what we are trying to train ourselves to get to. Habituation is really when the brain stops assigning importance to tinnitus. The biggest problem for all of us when tinnitus starts. So when tinnitus starts, we develop a bad habit. The bad and it's not our fault, just in case. It's not anyone's fault. You start hearing these weird sounds, and you don't know what's going on. You know what is happening, and your immediate response is to treat this like a smoke alarm or like an alert, like a yeah, like something bad is happening. The body is telling you it's like whoa, 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 something is going on. Something dangerous is going on. The problem is that until we start getting the right kind of information about tinnitus, which may be months, years, I spent years trying everything possible without knowing what I'm doing until I finally found the right way to get here to Salif. And so people may spend months, weeks, years until they actually get the right information. In this time, you developed a bad habit. The bad habit is to focus on the sound. Your brain is telling you, this is important. I need to see what's going on. I need to understand it. I need to fix it. The problem is that tinnitus is not fixable. Tinnitus is a symptom. It's not a cause. It's not a medical condition. Like when you have, um, God forbid, cancer, it's a medical condition. When you have neck injury, it's a medical condition. Tinnitus is a symptom. You can't directly fix it. You have to basically tell your brain this sound is not important. You can focus. You should understand if there's any what's causing it for you, because for each one there's like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There's like 12 people or something like that. Each one of you probably have a different cause for tinnitus. You want to focus on your cause for tinnitus and fix that if it's something that you can fix directly or indirectly. But in the same time, you want to understand that this sound is just not important and it's not dangerous, and that should not be your focus. But the problem is that now you're stuck with a habit that you formed over months or years to until you started to get the right information. So the biggest challenge with habituation is that we have to train ourselves manually to break the habit. But habituation is when the brain finally understands, okay, this sound is not important, it's not dangerous, it's not something I need to focus on. That's actually habituation. And I can hear the sound, but it doesn't affect me. I can hear the sound, but I can still focus on my work. I can hear the sound, but I can still participate in a conversation. So you are you hear it, but it's fine. It doesn't stir any emotions. So whenever you hear tinnitus and you start feeling anxious or disappointed or frustrated or angry, that's you're not where you want to be. You want to be in the place where these emotions are released, basically. Um, this when it gets louder in one place and lower in another. So somebody's asking or saying that it's harder to habituate to tinnitus when it's get louder in one place and lower in another. Um, yes, but habituation is not about the volume. Habituation is about your response to the sound, whatever the volume is. It's to still is to when you reduce the importance of that sound, when you get to that point, the volume is not going to make much difference. Um, okay, so let me keep going here. Um, Habituation. What habituation is not, because that's another, it's another topic or another confusion point for many people. Habituation is not pretending that tinnitus is not there. Habituation is not forcing yourself to ignore it. Um, Habituation is not giving up. You're not giving up. Um, and habituation is not reducing or minimizing your life to smaller set of activities. So if you want, so let's say, take tinnitus away out of the picture. If you want to be outdoors doing stuff and in restaurants with your family and whatever your hobbies and your work is, if that is where you want to be, habituation does not mean that you have to give up on it. Habituation, in fact, is a gradual way to get yourself back to exactly what you want to do. So let's see here. Now, I tell this to, well, in my videos, in my post, you say this. If you spoke with me, you heard me say this probably too many times. But if you think for a second in a fair way about the last time that you were next to an air conditioner or a fan, or if you were next to a window and there's traffic outside, if there's a computer fan, if you work with a computer like a desktop computer, even a laptop, they have fan in there that are running, you don't pay attention to any of the sounds, unless you really, really try to pay attention. But if you're not trying to pay attention and you focus on something, none of these sounds mean anything to you. Doesn't create stress, doesn't create any emotions, and it doesn't take your attention. So habituation is basically training your brain that tinnitus is the same. That is tinnitus. Tinnitus is just one more sound in that group of sounds that you associate no importance to. Now, what typically happens, I think somebody else is, but that's very common. Okay, it's not, it should not be your expectation, but it's very common that as your brain understands exactly what tinnitus is and stop associating importance and emotions to it, it will start filtering the sound out of your consciousness. So right now you have the sound or sounds coming and going throughout your day, throughout your week. They are going up and down and based on different things that you're doing, a different situation, like somebody was saying here. Um, but when your brain habituation level goes up, and it's important that I say that habituation is not a off and on switch, it's a dial. Think about your habituation is 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, and so on. It's not on and off. So even someone like me and other people that habituated for a long time and highly habituated, it's I never, well, you don't see 100% habituation. It's like 90%, 95%, but there's no 100%. But a lot of people can find themselves in 70% or 80%, and it's all they need because then they can focus on their things, they can do what they want, there's no limitation. That's it. You're done. And so just remember, it's not an off and on switch. Um, but I kind of stopped myself though. So anyway, that is what habituation is. I know what I was trying to say. Sorry about that. Um, as your habituation level go higher and higher, your brain may start to just filter out the sound. You already, I think, all of you here. I'm just guessing, but most of you, if not all of you, have moments, at least moments, where you're really focused on something and tinnitus is just gone. You don't hear it. You don't focus on it. You don't focus on it. It just disappears from your consciousness. And then maybe the next thing that you're doing is you take a break between activities and you go like, oh, here it is right there. Yeah. Because when your brain is not focused on something, then immediately you start monitoring the entire environment because that's what the body does. The brain is trying to protect you, and unfortunately, tinnitus is in that group. But as your habituation gets higher, for some people, first of all, for most people, the volume will start going down. So if your volume right now, if you feel it's very high, there's a really good chance, again, it's not a guarantee, there's a good chance that the volume is going to start going down. And in some cases, what will happen is that it just kind of disappears from your consciousness for first for a few hours, then for a day, then for 2 days, then for a week, and then from there it just keeps increasing. Um, or you hear it, but it's so low that focusing away from it only takes really small effort. Like anything that you do takes your attention away from the sound. I see another question here. So when I wear my hearing, it gets slower. Sometimes when I take them out, it gets intrusive. Should I take them off? Yes. So somebody is talking about hearing aids. So for those of you like me, now me is one that that your tinnitus cause is connecting to your hearing loss or hearing damage. And for those of you that are in that category, using hearing aids definitely helps with tinnitus. Because if you think about it, in your case, for your specific case, you get tinnitus because the brain is missing sound. My hearing loss is pretty bad. My brain goes like, wait, I'm missing like tons of sounds. I need to amplify everything that I experience. There's like a gain control. If you guys know a sound system and a gain control, where you amplify everything, that's what the brain is doing. It amplifies everything. And as a result of that, you get tinnitus. Tinnitus is a byproduct of that process. When you put hearing aids in, the brain goes like, wait a second, now I'm hearing more sounds. I can take this gain control down. And then the tinnitus level goes down with it. So that is what's happening. And so for those of you in this group, my recommendation, what I do personally, I wake up in the morning, I wash my teeth, wash my face, take a shower, whatever you do in the morning, I put my hearing aids in. I only take them out when I go to sleep. That's it. That's very simple. You do this every day, and you do this for now. If you just started using hearing aids, I should tell you, it's not gonna work immediately. It takes the brain, 1 to 2 to 3 weeks to adjust to your hearing aids. So if you've been using hearing aids for a while, you already experienced this. If you just started, don't expect this to happen after one day. It will take, a number of weeks for that effect to happen. But once it does, it's definitely a real effect. And there's another question here. Well, everybody's journey will be different. Is the general time frame for habituation? And secondly, as well as volume, is the type of the sound or subject to change? Okay, so let's do it one by one. So the first question here is there a general time frame for habituation? What, again, most of you probably heard from me and what I do in my program. Um, Typically, not always, because each person is different. Listen, there's again around 12 people here, maybe more. I know I'm not counting right now, but each one of us is experiencing tinnitus a little bit different, and a little bit our challenges are slightly different, our situations are different, our medical condition is different. So what I'm saying now is the typical in general answer, okay? I just want to clarify that. Um, Typically, within 3 to 4 weeks of going through a guided program, you get you will get a significant improvement. You will start feeling improvement in how you experience tinnitus. Then, in a few more weeks, like 3 to 4 more weeks, you will get another uh, chunk of improvement. And then when that happens, you know that what you're doing is the right stuff and you just keep doing it. In fact, um, the last part of habituation is actually reducing tools and focusing on your life. So only picking up a few tools that support what you need to support and just from that point on, just teach yourself to focus on what you want to do. That's the last part of habituation. So the answer to your question, it's about 3 months, 3 to 4 months. Let's just say 3 to 4 months is what it typically take people, but each person is different. Some people get to a point where, let's say, they are 50, 60% habituated, and they made already a big improvement, but the last 20, 30% that will give them what they want takes them a little bit longer. And it's also common. So somewhere between 3 to 4 months is what typically I see. And the second question, um, the volume and the sounds that you hear, and this is part of habituation. Okay. You may wake up tomorrow with new sound, new tinnitus sound. You may wake up tomorrow with the volume higher or lower, fluctuation. You part of habituation is accepting that and understanding that it's just a byproduct of what the brain is doing. Remember, this sound is a symptom, it's not a condition. So your experience of the symptoms changes based on how tired you are, how stressed you are, how something else happening in your system, stuff that it's just impossible to understand, to try to understand if it's a rare occasion or every once in a while occasion. If it's something that happens again and again, 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 like a spike, then you should try to see why I'm getting spike every day. Yes. But if it's something that happens once a week randomly every week on a different day, it's just tinnitus. That's called tinnitus. It just it's just that's the way it is. So if you have a different sound or a different volume or fluctuation, that should not be something that stress you up. That should be something that tell you, okay, that's tinnitus. I go back to focus on my things. That's the response that you want. Um, okay, let me see So typically, going back to our topic, which is the coping, control, and habituation. So typically, what you want to do is you want to have a good set of coping techniques that will help you deal with the moment. And for that, I just want to share something quickly here because all of you have access to it. And so I'm going to show you quickly here. So if I'm going to share my screen, it's this. So what you guys should see now is the community part. It's the classroom part of the community. So if I'm on a community, you go to the classroom. I can make it a little bit bigger. And then you click on the classroom and you have different courses here. One that is open to everyone from the very first second in the community is Control Tinnitus Quickly. And there are two videos here that shows you two effective um, coping techniques, basically. So how do I get relief right now so that I can move on? If tinnitus right now is making me crazy, making me anxious, taking my focus away, these are two things that you can do right now to improve that. Um, Other than that, also in the classroom, once you do very few actions in the community, like really just five things, I think, you get this course open. And these are a bunch of simple relaxation techniques you can do at home by yourself after you read these instructions. Really simple stuff, really simple things. You can just go through them, and each one of them is a coping technique. Basically, it's a relaxation technique. Um, the other one is the sound therapy, which again, like I was explaining before, there's some rules of how to use sound therapy, and that can help as well. Um, okay, so what I wanted to say, go back to my thing here. The progression is from coping to healthy control. Remember, there's the healthy control and unhelpful control. So coping that leads to helpful control. How do I change what I feel? How do I focus back on my things? Not how do I control the volume? And from there, you go into habituation. That is typically the steps is coping, healthy control, and then you get to habituation. That is the you reduce your response, you reduce your fear and anxiety, you calm your nervous system, you stop the emotional response to tinnitus, you stop fighting with tinnitus, and you move on, basically. Um, Let me just see if there's anything else that is important to cover here. Okay, I have a kind of a mistake section, but before that, let me see if there's other questions here. Um, if you're habituated, I have three screens here that I'm trying to read three different things, so forgive me for a second. Have you habituated your tinnitus with your tinnitus hearing aids? And when they are out, TST. Um, so once your brain habituates to tinnitus, it doesn't matter if you have the hearing aids in or out, but it just helps you. It just helps. So having the hearing aids in definitely helps. You notice the sound less because your ambient sounds around you coming through to you all the time and normally stimulate your auditory system. So it's definitely better. But once you're habituated to tinnitus, it doesn't matter if my hearing aids are in or out because the sound doesn't mean anything to me. It's a refrigerator, it's a fan, so it doesn't stress you. I hope that I'm answering your question. I think I do. Any other questions before I jump to mistakes and then the next topic? Yeah, Brian.
You
Brian,
know,
you're my favorite person here, asking questions.
hey,
I'm
no,
joking.
this probably pertains to Patricia too. I don't know whoever else do. Hey, I habituated the first time, not even really realizing, but the second time is very challenging for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you just making a statement or are you asking a question? Just so
I'm
I
asking a
understand.
question. I'm asking a question because it's the second time has been very challenging for me. So,
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, again, I'm looking at you and I recognize some of you, and I know that there's a group here that's been through this. So you habituated once, typically because what you dealt with the first time wasn't uh, as complex as the second time. So
yes,
your
yes.
brain just did it naturally. You habituated to it. The second time, typically our situations are more complex, and it takes more deliberate actions and efforts to do it. Yes, so it's true.
The third
Yeah,
time is even harder.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm serious. Well, I found it, the first time was
No, I
pretty,
know, I know, I know.
second time was hard, but now the third time is even harder. I'm not sure exactly why, it just is. Well, I think age, hearing, I had an ENT say, hearing loss, can exacerbate tinnitus, even with hearing aids. Um, so anyhow, the third time for me is a challenge.
Yeah, I don't know, the truth of life is as we get older, we more systems are functioning not as best as when we were in our 20s. And when something happens, then now it's like for example, I'll give you a really good example on myself. So my first cause for tinnitus for me is hearing loss. I damaged my hearing, and that's where tinnitus started. Then, to add more oil to the fire, I injured my neck and my back pretty bad. Not thank God, not really bad, but significant. I deal with chronic pain with my neck and my shoulders, and that's my secondary cause for tinnitus. So now, when I got to my 40s, I introduced to myself a second reason for tinnitus. So now, even if so, like if it was just a hearing loss, there's a better chance for your brain to kind of tune this out and keep going. But now I have all this pain that I'm dealing with, and now it's a second reason. So it's harder to habituate the second time. But you can definitely do it. I just want to make sure that it doesn't matter. It's harder, you're right, but you can definitely still do it. Again, I'm the proof. And then there's other people that went through the same, that have multiple physical challenges or causes for tinnitus that habituated to tinnitus. Yeah. Let me see if there's another question here. I'm not sure what it means first, second time. What people mean, I don't know which Mike is saying that, but people may experience tinnitus, let's say 20 years ago, and after, let's say, a few months of dealing with it, it just disappeared. And then they had 5 years of nothing, quiet, no tinnitus. And then something happens and it reappears. That's what they mean by that.
Sort of, can I offer an observation? Um, the first time I had tinnitus, after I broke my elbow, um, that was fairly easy to habituate. Um, 7 years later, it it never went away. So it wasn't that I had lost the tinnitus, my tinnitus. then just 7 years later, perhaps from air travel or what, I don't know why, it just accentuated, and it was like sound pounding through my head, and I couldn't do much because it was all pounding. And I just over time, and it took me several weeks or a number of weeks, I habituated to me, habituation means that there are times when I can't hear my tinnitus. It's there, I know it's there, but there are periods of time for however long when I can't hear it. It's the sound of silence. And if I have that, I know I've habituated.
But
This
I
time
have to,
after injuring my knee, it started up
I have
again.
to disagree with you, Jim. Not hearing it is not habituation. Not hearing it is cool, but habituation is that you don't, when you hear it and you don't respond to it. That's habituation.
Now there's
And
two, but I know for a fact, well, for sure that I've habituated if there are times when I'm not aware of it. Not
no,
that I
what I mean is that you can definitely get to the part where you don't hear it as well. That like I was explaining before, this will come after you don't respond to the sound. When you don't respond to the sound, the next step is that the volume goes down and you don't hear it for longer period of time. But habituation is that you don't respond to the sound. That is what habituation is. So somebody asked the question, is it better to use sound therapy like masking to promote habituation? I'm going to answer the question whether no. Sound therapy is a tool. You can use it as a tool to help you, but it's not a tool that will make you habituate to tinnitus. What makes you habituate to tinnitus is to stop responding to the sound, stop categorizing the sound as important. That's what makes you habituate. Sound therapy is a tool. You should definitely use the tool, but it's not something that will make you habituate. So I just want to clear that. Um, okay, guys. So unless there's other question, I'm gonna jump to a really another really strong point, or maybe since we are at an hour, maybe I can save that for the next time. Um, you guys want me to jump into another whole topic, or maybe save
Yeah,
this for next week or 2 weeks
I'm
from now?
no, I'm good. Is everybody else? Are you good? Everybody else good?
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind keep going.
Okay. So um, the next topic is fluctuation, which again I know that all of you here or most of you here are dealing with fluctuation. This started from a question that, one of the mics asked. We have the most common name in this community is Mike. And I was joking about that. But one of the mics that actually was working with me, and he can speak for himself, but made pretty significant um, progress with tinnitus, um, and still dealing with the unique challenge. The unique challenge is that he gets 2 days of, I don't care about tinnitus. I may not hear it or hear it, but I don't care. I'm doing good. I'm doing my things. And then on the third day, for whatever reason, it bothers me. It kind of, I'm not sure how much it bothers me. I don't remember the post, what he was asking, but he was talking about it now. He pay attention to it. It's an issue, maybe not a big issue, but still it's kind of a pattern that he would like to break. um, and then other people asked very similar questions. They said, why my tinnitus? I I'm having those like really good days, and everything is fine. And then all of a sudden it's like, paf, I have like really bad day, and tinnitus doesn't let me go, doesn't let me focus. I can't do what I want. It's true. I'm anxious and all that kind of stuff. So why the fluctuation? Um, so basically, um, remember that habituation is your response and your emotions to the sound. So let's take the first example. And actually, and also before I even jump to that, I'm gonna make a statement which is so important that you guys will understand. Fluctuation is part of the habituation process. So let's say that you have started with tinnitus. It's been a few months, maybe a year or two, and of course you're trying to fix it, right? Um, as you're beginning to apply the right tools and the right techniques, you may get um, activities. Maybe now you're able to have a conversation and tinnitus is gone. And you're like, wow, that was amazing. Maybe you're able to watch TV show and then no tinnitus. You don't pay attention to it. And then, well, give me 1 second here. Allergies.
Got yourself on it, but
Um,
you can text
so
questions.
you watch a TV show, you don't pay attention to it, and then it comes back.
Mine was,
And then slowly you will
yeah,
see that you will go maybe 2 hours, half a day, one day, but
lateral
then it
sounds
comes
are
back.
heavier
And
things.
again, it's loud. So
He
it's
did
like,
reply.
what the
Because I have
hell? I'm
hearing aids.
already half a
He
day
says, I get up
not
in the
paying
morning,
attention
I
to it.
brush my
Why it
teeth,
comes back? So you have
have
to
a shower,
understand, remember
and I
that the
put my hearing
brain
aids in.
works in
Because I'll
repetitions.
never
The
take the meds
brain
till
is
the
a
end of the day.
pattern machine. You learn
Then I
everything
text him
in your
back,
life by
how
repeating,
can you addict to
repeating,
it?
repeating. You think about it.
To one
You learn
sound, and you take them out
languages,
and
you
waking up
learn
in
a
the morning to
skill,
another sound.
you learn to walk, you
He
learn
says,
to
you can
ride a
hear it,
bicycle.
you will
Everything
habituate.
you do is in patterns.
And then eventually, it won't matter to you what sound it is.
So
You're
somebody
good at
said
one,
something, but I missed it. And then eventually the
you're
whole.
good, you just take them out because they're right and wrong. Every time you're good, yeah.
Yeah. So, so the problem is that when your brain starts, you're training your brain to respond to alternatives differently. Your brain has to go through patterns. This is why in the first phase of my program or any kind of good tinnitus program, you will find that you have to repeat the same things again, 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 because you're training your brain to do something different. Think your brain was for years or months was in a habit to focus on the sound, to make it important, to make it like an alert. You're trying to break this and treat it like a bad habit, sorry, and create a new response, a new way to deal with tinnitus. So it takes practice. The brain is practicing. So if you're going up and down in your tinnitus, that's actually not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. That means that your brain is learning. And if you go through activities at the beginning, the tinnitus is gone, and then you stop. This is very common, another very common. You're busy with something, tinnitus is gone. Like right now, I'm talking to you, maybe you're listening to me, and at that moment right now, tinnitus is gone. But if I'm quiet, all of a sudden you hear tinnitus again. So that's all normal. That's all normal stuff. So habituation is part of this process. But when somebody is getting to the point where they are highly habituated or higher, maybe 50, 60% habituated, or maybe even more, and they have 2 days of 2 good days, like noting, I'm okay, and then the third day, all of a sudden, it's bothering me. Then the question is, what's different about that third day? Um, are we monitoring it all of a sudden? Or is the pattern creating expectation? So let me start with the first thing. Is this pattern to the point where it created expectation that the third day is going to be like that? And when the expectation is there, then the monitoring is there and the emotional response is there. Um, I don't know if you guys look at the comments, but I'm trying to keep, but you can see the responses there. But so the question is, did I create to myself, if this is me, did I create an expectation? And by having this expectation, I'm actually starting to monitor on the third day, and I'm starting to let myself, my emotional guard off, and I'm exposing myself to let tinnitus affect me again. If I'm monitoring it and if I'm responding to it, that's why I hear it. If you don't look for it, you're not going to find it if you're habituated. So if you're starting to monitor it, that's why it's happened. And I'm just going to look at the comments here. Oh yeah. So if people are not on mute when you're not talking, just be on mute. In a second. In a second. When I'm listening to sound therapy meditation, should I have? Oh, that's a question. Okay, so the first thing that I was saying is the expectation. The second thing is when you have fluctuation, and the fluctuation on you get more peace, and the fluctuation is beginning to be less. So let's say it's a one whole day of okay, I'm good, and then the morning is kind of again it's bothering me, and then a day of good, and then the morning is bothering me. Then think, what are you doing in that moment? Are you accepting the sound? Are you saying to yourself, okay, the sound is there, but I can still do my things? Or are you saying, wait, is it louder than yesterday? Um, is it different? Is it new sound? What's happening now? Why is it different? So if you think, what are you doing? How are you responding to the change? If you're responding with the unhelpful control, which I talked about at the beginning, then that's what you get. You get the focus back on tinnitus. If you're responding with helpful control, then it's easier to move away from it. You deflect it from you instead of hitting you. That's exactly what. That's exactly why it's happening. Um, Let me see. Okay, so any questions on that?
Yes, Guy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Guy, this is Colin. It's good to meet you. I've met you before once. My question is, when I wake up in the morning, I wear my hearing aids all day, and it's quite okay sometimes. Sometimes the tinnitus can outdo the hearing aids, which I accept if it's on a bad day. Mine would be reactive tinnitus when I get into the car. If I drive a long distance, it gets louder and louder and louder. But I ended up getting afraid of my tinnitus. Now, when I get up in the morning, I can't wait to get my breakfast, can't wait to get going, I'm running all the time from the tinnitus. Is it bad to just sit with your tinnitus and say, I'm not really afraid of you anymore. I'm just going to sit here, take my breakfast slowly, and stop running to walk to keep my mind off it. I did habituate once, and I got there where it didn't bother me at all. But I'm back to this kind of anxiety every time I hear it, and I'm afraid to hear it. I drive a bus sometimes, and when I'm driving the bus, that's fine. And then when I get to my destination, I have to wait for the pupils to come onto the bus. I'm in silence, and I get back into anxiety again on the bus. Is that normal?
Um, it's normal. And to answer your question, is it okay for you to sit with your tinnitus in quiet? When you get to the point where the sound or the symptoms don't make you anxious, don't create emotional response, or at least they are not strong, and you can sit there and just be okay with it and say, okay, listen, when you do that, just say to yourself, it's fine, I hear the sound, but I can still eat my breakfast. It's fine, I'm okay. So if you're at that point, if you can do that, then yes, I would do that. Yeah, definitely. Enjoy your breakfast. Maybe I don't know, if you eat breakfast, you speak with someone or you read an article or whatever. Just focus on something that you want to do.
Yeah,
Then
maybe for
yes.
the
But
moment.
if it steals, if being in quiet creates emotions, create anxiety, then maybe play something in the background while you eat or watch TV or I don't know, whatever. I don't know a
Yeah,
situation exactly, but kind of help yourself have something to stimulate you, which is not tinnitus, while you're doing that.
that's it.
Now for driving, you see, there's a few people here that would probably now say, "Oh, me too, me too." When you drive, the tire sound, the road sound, the wind in the windows, they all flood our auditory system with a bunch of sound that people, and this is the weird part, if you don't have hearing aids and your hearing is normal, and let's say that you don't have tinnitus, those sounds don't bother you. But when you have hearing aids, the hearing aids trying to amplify to filter everything and to analyze everything, so you get much more exposed to those sounds as other people. So there's two different solutions that may work for you. Solution number one is change the program. Change to a program that will intentionally filter out all the road sounds that you don't want to hear. That's one. If that's helpful, then you're done. If not, just unless you have to speak to someone. If you're driving by yourself a long distance, just take out the hearing aids, put earplugs instead, and then
Great.
drive that way and get to the destination. Switch back to hearing aids.
Yes, change the program is a good one because I have softer sounds and I have different programs on it. So yeah, I must try that one. Thank you.
Yeah, I depending on the hearing aids, and we can take this offline, but depending on the hearing aids, some of them are very sophisticated. They have like a car program or way to filter all the sounds that are not desired, not wanted, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Did
guys.
I
That was
answer
very
all your
good.
questions?
Very good. Well done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions before I jump into an announcement? uh, I don't see anything. Any more? Dooley? This is the time. Okay, so as some of you know, uh, my dear wife, do you want to bring a chair from there? Mm,
Be careful what you say.
I said, my dear wife, what do you want?
But this is embarrassing.
Come, come next to me. So
Hi.
here's
Hi.
my wife. Her name is Lou. Leo is trying to get himself here too. Um, she's from Peru, and her family was going through some challenges. I'll just keep it very general. And we wanted to be close to the family while those challenges are happening, so we can support them. Long story short, I've been in the USA for 30 years almost, and she's a teacher, and she can take a gap year. So we decided to take 1 year gap year, oh, one year as a gap year, and so she can take vacation from her teaching, and we can go be close to the family.
With my mom,
Huh?
especially with my mom.
Yes, yes. And then after 1 year, come back here and keep everything, go back to the normal stuff. So that change is what caused me, because you guys will not believe the amount of work and arrangements and documents and everything that we have to do, even for Leo, to make him fly with us to Peru. and come back. You take again, right, Leo? Say something. Come here. And I've been for this
Hey,
for
Leo.
this for this purpose, I trained Leo to be a service dog, as some of you already know. Um, and he's now basically my service dog. So you have to get documents and you have to get him checked up, and it's just like a bunch of things. So for me, June was just trying to do all the stuff I do, working with all of you, creating videos, creating content while I'm doing all this other stuff. And so that is the announcement, is that we are going to go for 1 year, stay there, be close to the family, help my mom-in-law. And then once everything is better, then we will come back here. She will go back to teaching,
Yes.
and I'm going to be back in Colorado. We're going to be back here. So that is the announcement.
He wants to say something.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, I have a question for you. Okay,
Yeah.
you're going there for a year, and all of a sudden
Oh, you don't hear him, right?
But what he say?
I will tell you. Okay. Remember that I'm hearing everything through my hearing aids.
Oh, and she
So,
can't
but you
hear you.
can you can
I
read
hear.
here though. But
Okay.
ask Brian. Ask. Sorry. I will tell.
Okay, let's ask your wife. You go there for a year. Is that where you guys are going for a year?
Yes.
Okay,
1 year.
you go for a year. Are you gonna? You're not gonna sell your house in Colorado, are you?
So we all of our kids. So he's asking us if we're gonna sell the house here.
We did.
Yeah. So
You
all
are.
of our kids are in their 20s, even closer to high 20s.
The
We have-
next one already
Hmm?
graduate. Ignacio just graduate, but he's going to
Yeah.
Seattle. Yeah.
So the point is that the house is mostly empty now. It's me and you and
Yeah.
Leo. So this house that where we are now is kind of a bigger house. So we were thinking to go to Peru, and when we come back, we're gonna find a smaller house for the three of us plus guests, instead of a bigger house.
Okay, the question is, what if you really love going to paradise and you don't want to come back?
So he's asking us, what if you go there and it's so perfect that you don't want to come back?
No, not yet. I need to finish. I want to retire like a teacher here in USA.
Yeah, speak to them. Speak to them.
Yeah,
So-
they hear me? They hear
Yeah, I
me?
can hear you.
Yes, yeah. You guys can hear, right?
So can
no,
Yes.
Yeah.
like my
So-
dream, like a teacher, always was retire here in Peru, in USA. So it's only 5 more years. So when I come
So-
back from Peru, it's going to be 4 years. So we have to come back.
you
Maybe
have
when we retire, we can go back. But my dream is come here and retire.
Okay, so can you teach in Peru and retire with all your time you have in the US? Will that go with Peru if you
So
teach
he's
in Peru?
asking, can you teach in Peru instead? But no, the retirement is from USA.
I can work, but I don't want to work.
No, but the retirement plan.
Oh yeah, yes,
It's
yes,
from here, yeah.
yes. But I now that I'm going to Peru, I'm thinking to help like poor school, like neighborhood that there are poor, and I would like to be volunteer and help students to learn and read, but volunteer, not like a work.
But
Because he doesn't need to work for 1 year.
But he's not
Oh.
answering his question. So Brian, to answer your question, her retirement is from here, from
Yes.
USA.
Okay.
So she needs to finish 4 or
Five.
5 years
Yeah.
in the USA working as a teacher to get to that retirement.
Yeah, I understand because you want to get your 20 years in and get a retirement from here and then go up back to paradise and enjoy your life.
There's no paradise in the world, I think.
Okay, what he say?
He's asking, we can go to Peru and then come back here and then go back to Peru after that.
Oh yeah, this can be, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But not now.
Okay.
Okay, so this
Okay.
this is the announcement. This is what we wanted to
It's
share.
good.
That is the reason.
Thank you.
Huh?
Thank you.
This is why it's been so hard for me in June. It's been really crazy because I'm still working with many of you one on one, and I'm still doing that. Is the highest priority for me is to serve the people I work with. So content kind of slowed down a little bit. So I apologize for that. But
No,
in
that's all right.
July, middle of July, things should stabilize and everything should be back to normal.
Hey, Guy, do you hear me?
Yes, yeah,
Now, does that mean, are you going to continue with your program or are you going to
yes,
stop
of
it?
course, yes.
Oh, thank God. Okay, you almost gave me a heart attack.
I am
You made,
nothing
you
is
made my
changing.
tinnitus
So
spike.
again, to clarify, nothing is changing. Everything is the same.
Just a place.
Yeah,
That's
That's
it.
fine.
yeah. We're just gonna be in a different place for 1 year. That's it.
And we already have a house over there. He already have all her computer and every stuff over there. He know what part of the space in the house he's going to work. Like we plan everything. Yes.
Yeah. So nothing is changing. Okay, everybody, nothing
Not
is
with
changing.
him, with me, yes.
Yeah, with you. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Good luck.
This
Hope your
is
mom's
the
okay.
woman behind.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Bless
Thank
you,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Nice couple. Nice couple.
Okay, so I just wanted to share this again. Nothing is
Wow.
changing. The
Thanks
community,
for
the
sharing.
YouTube, the what I do, the coaching, nothing is changing. I just wanted to explain why June has been slower on content, and I wasn't able to respond to everyone, and I was trying to catch up with emails, and I was getting overwhelmed a little bit. So I just wanted to explain what's happening. That's all. But nothing is changing. Okay.
So
What's the
Guy,
time change?
is your wife the same age as you?
She's 1 year younger than me.
Okay. So that reminds me of me and my wife. We were just about your age or about a year younger. And when we got married, and we did kind of what you did. We didn't go overseas, but we went to a few different houses until we finally figured out where we were going to be. And it's really a good experience to do that. See, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's like we're gonna be in a different place for 1 year and then come back here. It's just a different experience.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so now my last, let me,
Guy,
let
can I
me
ask you a
put this
question?
more.
Guy, can I ask you a question? You've been to Peru
Yes,
before?
yes,
You've been to Peru before?
yes. I've been to Peru 2, 3
What was
times. Yes,
what
yes.
was the longest time you've been there?
Just a few weeks. Each time a few weeks, like 2, 3 weeks each time, something like that.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for asking. Thanks for answering my question. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. This is why, by the way, again, some of you know, I'm trying. I'm not. It's another. It's another challenge, but I'm trying to learn Spanish too, so I can actually speak there and be independent. I'm not expecting to be able to speak fluently with people, at least not at the beginning. But I'm trying to learn the basics, and at this point I can read really nice. I can listen okay. I can write, but to speak is the hardest thing for me right now. So I need to practice. Yeah, so I'm also doing that. So it's gonna be a third language.
What's your first
Uh,
language, though, Guy? What's your first language, Guy? American.
so Hebrew. I'm from Israel originally, so Hebrew is my first language.
Okay.
English is my second, and Spanish will be the third, I guess.
Thank you, Guy, for answering. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Okay, let me see if there's another. Good luck with your location. So remember, everybody, nothing is changing. The program is the same. The community is the same. YouTube is the same. Because I see the questions there. Everything is staying the same. I'm just gonna be in a different location for 1 year. That's it. Okay, the last part of the announcement. I wanted to share with you something. Um, like I was saying in the beginning, I tried for a long time to create a course that will respond to where you are right now. Like, so again, I'm just taking examples. People don't get upset with me. Let's say that Brian right now is dealing with a specific challenge. He's like maybe he's trying to deal with monitoring, just for example. And then maybe Guy is trying to deal with anxiousness, and Mike is trying to deal with something else. So the idea was that you come into that course, you if you guys did the 2-minute quiz that I have, you answer a few questions, and then the course will present to you the right material, so then you can work on what you need right now, instead of just giving you written stuff that you have to find what you need. So, but I tried this for months and I was not successful. It's just really hard to do. So my answer to that is I took all my knowledge and all my content and all my experience from my own journey with tinnitus, and I fed it into a chatbot, an AI bot. Now I know that some people hear AI and they go like, "Oh, I don't want to touch this," and that I completely respect that. But for those people that feel like, "Oh, I don't mind trying to ask AI questions," what I did is I created um, a chatbot with all my content, with all my knowledge, and it's still AI, and it can still make mistakes. And so you always have to keep your common sense active. You always have to be, okay, is this answer making sense or not? So it's still a computer answer, basically. But the the big difference is that you can say, right now I'm dealing with this and this and this, and the AI, because it's trained on all my content, will respond to you with, okay, if you're dealing with this based on all of Guy's stuff, here's what the next thing you should do. And I can show you quickly. So I'm going to disconnect from the chat for a second, or I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to try and show you that, just to show you how it works. Just give me 1 second. I want to grab it here.
Can I ask a general question?
Yeah, sure.
Mostly people that are connected now, are they members of you or not? With all respect, I'm not asking you. It's a indiscreet question. Like all the people that are connected right now, are they members of your community? Like or no? Or look, or like me, like I'm a guest.
That's people should answer, right? I think most people here are in the community. I think most of
Okay.
them, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to show you this. So just give me a second. Now, this is not completely ready yet. I'm working on this, but I'm going to try and show you how this works. So I'm going to share with you my screen right now. Okay. It's this part right there. And with this bot, it's um, it's possible to talk to it or type to it. So, for example, let's say that I'm going to type, um, um, I'm just going to do something general. Okay, so let's say sleep is my biggest challenge. What should I try? Just for example, okay?
I asked you about
You
the
can see
car.
that
Why does it get risen?
the chat is trained with all my content. And again, I know, and I'm not, and it's completely fine if DIA stuff freak you out. Just like you prefer not to touch it, that's no problem at all. I understand it. But if you're open to it, then here's what it spits out. So let's see. So it gives us a few different things to try. Now I asked the question in a very general way, which is probably not fair. Excuse me. So I got a general answer, so you try background sound therapy, practice relaxation, keep the room cool and comfortable, avoid screens. So it gives you general responses. But let me show you one more thing. Um, let's take a specific example. Let's say, okay, I find myself monitoring the sound too often. Um, I don't mean to, but it just keeps happening to me. What should I do? I didn't record. Oh, okay, because I'm connected to Zoom, I didn't do that way. But when I was trying to show you that you can actually speak to it as well. But because I'm in Zoom, it didn't catch the sound. So, okay, what should I do if I keep monitoring the sound? Okay, I'm just trying again. I'm maybe not the best examples. I should have probably prepared questions which are more detailed. Um, so here's the answer it gives you now. You can see it's actually showing you CBT techniques. It's saying notice the sound and say, okay, my brain is checking the sound again. Don't argue. See, this is one of the things that you hear me say all the time. Don't fight with your tinnitus because you're not going to win. So you don't argue, don't measure it, don't test it, don't try to figure it out, don't try to fix it. Just bring your attention back to something real, like something that you can do, and basically redirect your attention. And you can say it pretty much says the stuff I'm telling you all the time. The sound is not important, it's not dangerous. I go back to do something. Again, I'm asking, I apologize. Maybe I should have prepared more detailed questions. I should have done that. Prepare more detailed questions so then the answers will be better as well. But you can see how it works. That's what I wanted to show you. And it is trained based on all my content and all my knowledge. This, though, took a lot of time to create and a lot of effort, and I keep maintaining it all the time. So this is gonna be offered to my clients or people which are premium customer. This is not gonna be available to everyone. It takes a lot of effort to maintain this thing, to make it accurate, and I'm trying the hardest I can, the best I can do to prevent AI from having those really stupid answers, because that's one of the problem with AI, that sometimes it can give you a completely irrelevant answer. Say that? Oh, I think one of you have your microphone open. But so I'm trying to do everything to prevent that from happening. So it takes a lot of maintenance. Um, so if you go on the community, there's plans, and you will see there's actually, I should probably show that again. Sorry, I will show you. So let me just show you. Oh, it's not this one, it's this one. So when you're in a community, if you go after the community name and type plans, it shows you, there's like 3 different plans in the community. There's the free community, which most of you are in. There's the VIP, which are all my clients. All my clients, the ones I work for 3 months, that's the plan. That's the full months plan. This plan here is for the full 3 months, okay? And there's the premium. The premium is $97 per month. And if you join that, you will have access to extra courses and this tool, this AI tool. So this what I mean, and I may change the prices a little bit. So I may change the prices if you guys give me feedback and stuff. I'll see what I can do. But the premium plan is the one, and of course the VIP plan will get the access to the tool. So that's what I wanted to show you. If you guys have any questions, I would love to answer them now.
Yes, Guy, can I ask you a question?
Of course, yeah.
Can I ask you,
Wait, I'm not hearing you right now. Ask the question, yeah.
Lenire device, the
Oh, is
Lenire
this bad?
devices, does it help you habituate quicker?
I've not experienced myself directly with this. I have clients that used it. And from my experience and from real people experience, it's 50-50, is what I can tell you, is what I hear. I know that they say something like 80%, it's helping them, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
From me working with people that used it, and some of them are in the community, and other people that I know of, like there's a couple of other coaches in the world that I respect, and we sometimes just kind of exchange information. And they have the same experience from the people that they work with. It's about 50-50, and it's very expensive. It's very, at least in the USA. You're in Europe, right? Yeah, and in the USA, it's very expensive to use.
Ireland, yeah. Yeah, over here in Ireland, it's about 3,500. And with that, they want to give you CPT through Auto. So you're talking about 4,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
And you're talking about pounds, right? Just to make sure. Oh, euros.
Euros.
Yeah. So
Euros.
that's more expensive than US dollars, I think, at this point.
Yes.
So
It would.
yeah.
Now the US dollar is a little less than ours, so I would say 4,000 would be probably about 3,800 US dollars.
Yeah. So like I was saying, it's not no, in the USA they offer it for around $5,000.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
quite expensive.
So what I can
over.
tell you, I've not used it myself. I know I have a technique that is kind of doing the same, not exactly, but it's kind of doing the same thing. So there's a way to stimulate your vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is like a huge nerve. It goes from the back of your head through your throat to your chest and spread to the entire body. And that's like a nerve highway. So there's a way to stimulate the vagus nerve just by humming or singing, if you like to sing or hum, while you're relaxing yourself. So basically, you're doing the whole thing about the Lenire is that you stimulate your tone with electric signals while you are listening to sound therapy. So again, it's not the same. I'm not saying the same, but it's similar concept that you are stimulating your vagus nerve, which is a highway of nerves in your body, the most important nervous system. And you can listen to sound therapy, and you can actually hum. If you're humming a song, then you can listen to the song, and it's kind of doing a similar effect. Okay, let's just say it that way, and that's for free. You can do it for free. Try it and see if it works for you. Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, it's probably like
So-
giving you a good kick of the ankle and you'll feel the pain and you won't think of your tinnitus for that length of time.
I'm sorry, Brian. What was the question? Can you repeat the question? I didn't get it.
It's like somebody standing on your toe. You won't hear your tinnitus. That's okay. It's okay. Thanks for your answer. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
No, you
So,
didn't get it. It's okay.
so the
Thanks.
content,
Thanks.
the content you're making is that hasn't come out yet, but it's going to come out. It's going to be like AI, and I think it's a good idea. I think it's really pretty cool. Once because you fine tune it, AI is pretty good because they do that on
Yeah,
on the computers a lot. When you ask something, look up on a Google, AI will come in there and really answer your question to pretty detail.
yeah. Everything, good or bad, but we are moving this direction if we want it or not. So
Yeah.
all I did is I tried to train the AI on all my content and all my knowledge and try to have the AI answer a complicated question. Again, I apologize. My demonstration was not good. I should have
No.
prepared questions in advance, but you see, this is the time problem. But that's what it does. You can ask really complicated questions about the situation, and you will get really detailed responses. In fact, the problem I have is that it's typically too detailed. The examples I showed were not really good examples.
So it's not out yet.
It should be available within a few weeks. Within a few
Okay.
weeks, I will have it to the
And you
point
just go
where.
to and you just go to the classroom and look it up then.
Yeah, I'll do it from. That's a good idea. I can do it from there. Yeah, it's going to be a link that you will connect to my chat box. So it's something that I control. It's my AI chatbot,
Okay.
and you will connect to it and start chatting with it. Basically, that's what happens.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
good thing is that each person that chats with it, it's completely separate. So there's no way that one of you is gonna chat for personal stuff and where you are, and then somebody else is gonna see it. It's completely separate. Yeah, each person has their own channel to the chatbot, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys, it's been almost 2 hours this time. I really hope that what we covered was helpful for you. I think the two first topics are fundamental tinnitus things that if you understand them, it will really help you in your tinnitus journey. It will really empower you and it will support you. If I'm going to post this in the community, this recording, and then if you have any questions on anything we covered, just go to that post in the community and just type questions there and I'll respond to all of them.
Okay.
Sounds good? Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me. I really appreciate that. I know that it's your time on Saturday, so thank you so much for joining me, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
Guy.
you.
Thanks a lot, Guy.
Thank you, Guy. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Guy.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.